Well, we know now the injury report for Georgia Alabama has just come out. Let's take a look at it real quick. This is brought to you by Sales Hatch, our friends over there. How would your organization benefit from consistently perfect hires every time? Sales Hatch can help you with that. Build sales teams that crush the quota. That's our buddies over at Sales Hatch. I'm going to talk about them a little bit more in this video. Ernest Green is doubtful at Georgia. That is not a great sign for a Georgia offensive line that has been trying its best to get stability. We've not seen that this season yet. The first game, that's been about it. So, you got Ernest Green. Alabama's got a couple of guys out. They do return. Jam Miller, who is, an important running back for them, and then Tim Keenan, easy enough for me to say, on the defensive line. Those guys, Miller had an injury in August that's kept him out of these first 3 games for Alabama, and Keenan, I believe, got hurt during the Florida State game. So Kalen DeBoer said on Monday that those guys will be back. If you take a look at what we've got on Dawg Post about this, look, I think the big focus here is Ernest Green. Ethan Barber, Tolliver, Blackshear. We knew about Barber for a while. Blackshear's been listed as out for some time. But Ernest Green being doubtful as of a Wednesday night is an unfortunate situation for a team that really would like to have him out there. I mean, Kirby talked about Ernest Green immediately after the Austin Peay game and saying it was difficult to do things without him out there. They're going to have to adjust. It's just all there is to it. I mean, we're just in a position here as this season goes on where for Georgia, they're going to have to get someone at that spot, at that right tackle, who can fill that in. It's not great to be going up against Alabama with Ernest Green out, but he missed some of the Tennessee game as well. And we'll watch the injury report. Doubtful doesn't mean out. These things can be upgraded pretty quickly. But I think those are the 3 key people: Jam Miller, Ernest Green, and then Tim Keenan coming back for Alabama on the defensive line for the Tide. This game, Georgia's not hosted Alabama in Kirby's tenure in 10 years. They've not hosted LSU in this 10-year period of time. They will host Texas. They will host Alabama this season. And you want to have all your players when you're playing really good teams. And don't make a mistake thinking that Alabama's not still good. They are. But they are at a tipping point here. They're in a must-win situation. Georgia's not in must-win. I think except for the fact that, this is an important game for Georgia mentally. I will say that. We can talk about this and more. I'm going to be at Red Zone this Friday afternoon. Scott and Mindy and I talking this through. It's going to be busy at Red Zone, but I'll be there from 3 to 4. Pop in and we'll say hello. You can grab one of these shirts. I don't know if you're going to see it on the screen. I'll do my best. One of the riding home shirts. Yeah, okay. You can see Matt, I think, which is probably the least of the riding home crew. Matt is the least liked amongst the people that I talk to. Anyway, I'm kidding. No. So I think that as it relates to getting this game going, you're going to want to see Georgia effectively run the ball. Alabama has struggled running it and to some degree stopping the run. I think running it has been a real challenge for Bama. But one problem is they've not had their best running back from a season ago. That makes a difference. It makes a difference. I mean, he had 700 yards in 2024. He did not play a lot against Georgia last year. He played. He was not overly productive last year, Jam Miller, against the Dogs. So that's another thing with him coming back the way that he is. We can't know. You don't know a lot about where this team. Oh boy, where this team, what their psyche is for Alabama coming into this game. I mean, clearly their back is against the wall. Jam Miller's best game was against South Florida a year ago. He went for 140. He did not go over 60 yards the rest of this season, except against Wisconsin and Auburn. But again, you want all your dogs when you're in there fighting. And, he went for almost 700 yards a season ago, going for 4.5 yards a carry. So that makes a difference. And having another guy, you can never have enough running backs in this league. You can never have enough defensive linemen, offensive linemen, or running backs in this league. You need them all because those are very physical positions. Ernest Green being out, it's not a great look for Georgia right now. It's not an unreal situation. If you're Kirby and them, you've had 2 weeks to tinker and move around this offensive line. An offensive line that has played, the defensive line at Georgia has played better than I thought they would this season. But there's still been some, the offensive line has been probably good, but not quite great. There have been some great at times, though. Again, check out our buddies from Sales Hatch. If you own a business, this is definitely the company that you should be checking out. Why? Why do I know that? Because they've done some stuff that I've had a hard time doing. I'll put it to you like that. If you're trying to build better B2B sales, you're trying to get premier talent, if you're trying to sync things up, make your life easier, contact Sales Hatch today. And personnel matters so much. We're talking about Sales Hatch. Carby would love to use them right now to get stability at right tackle. And again, it is possible that Ernest will be back, will be playing in this game. I don't know. I know how this works with the injury report. So there was some discussion. This will probably be in what we're hearing in a bigger way in the near future. But there has been some discussion about when is the injury report as of. At Georgia, it's as of after practice on Wednesday night. I don't know how other institutions do it. I also can't. I'm assuming it's on Wednesday, but there's been some discussion that, we don't quite know if that's a after Tuesday practice thing. But at Georgia, essentially medical comes off the field, gives a report to the the institution's representatives, and they send it into the Southeastern Conference, and that's what it is. That Ernest Green is essentially, as of right now, the only person to really pay attention to on the Georgia side of things. Is not that bad of a thing. It's a good thing. You're gonna have guys going to get hurt. Guys are going to get hurt, but unfortunately at Alabama, you've had some serious injuries even this week. One of the Alabama linebackers, Jamiron Latham, is in the hospital right now with this morning, as of Thursday morning, he's still at UAB in Birmingham with a neck injury that he had during a practice on Tuesday, according to reports from AL.com. That is really disturbing for a team to go through and deal with. It's very hard. When a teammate is in a hospital, that could have been you in a hospital. That could be, and that is your teammate in a hospital. It's a very tricky situation at Alabama right now as it relates to that young man. So that's another thing to keep in mind as Alabama rolls into Athens and they're all whites and crimson helmet, is that there's some moving parts at Alabama too, and that's important to remember. According to Kalen DeBoer, Latham is continuing to get evaluated. Alabama will probably know more here in the next 48 hours. He's got motion and feeling. Kalen DeBoer said that he just texted with him this morning, and Latham told DeBoer to tell the guys he's doing well. Just more tests and more things we have got to evaluate. That's the latest on him. So it's I think everybody's thinking about him. I hope he does well and gets well. UAB is actually an excellent hospital in Birmingham, but that's another weight that this Alabama team is carrying on their shoulders coming into Athens, a place that no one in this Alabama program, the players, certainly none of the players, maybe a couple of the coaches, but I'm not sure many of them have been to Samford before. Christian Robinson, a former Georgia linebacker, is on that staff at Alabama. And there's probably a couple of, support people have been to Samford. But this will be a new experience playing in the stadium. It was a new experience playing at Florida State. I don't think that makes a giant difference where you play necessarily. I think comfortability matters to some degree. But when you play on the road in this league, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult for Alabama. If they win the game, it will be a really big win. Something that they're not, that's nothing new for them against Georgia here lately, these last, since 2012 for sure. So this has been, the injury report is something we're going to go over every Thursday. And I think for Georgia, you'd rather have Ernest Green out there than not. But all told, I've seen worse injury reports for Georgia, and we'll just have to monitor as we get closer. Hey, thanks to Sales Hash for helping us out with this video. Check them out, and we'll see you on the next one.